So in this video, we're going to go over the week 4 module. This week, our focus sharpens on the compare and contrast essay. This is an approach to writing where we consider the similarities or differences between various subjects. It's like holding a magnifying glass to two things and examining what makes them alike or separates them. To illustrate, think about how you approach purchasing a car or a new cell phone. You scrutinize both the shared features and the contrasting aspects before deciding. It's a valuable mindset to apply to your writing. As you write your comparison-contrast ideas for this week, initial discussion post, I encourage you to consider the things you've purchased or aspects of your life that lend themselves well to comparison-contrast. It could be anything from different hobbies you enjoy to the contrasting personalities of your friends. It could even include the diverse cuisines you've tried. The options are limitless, so let your imagination run wild. So in this module, you're going to learn grammar, you're going to learn comparison-contrast writing, you're going to develop an essay, develop an outline for your comparison-contrast essay. And you're going to identify the parts of a thesis for your comparison-contrast essay, and you're going to identify types of evidence that support a thesis for a comparison-contrast essay. Expectations. So this week, you're going to be doing chapter 13, 22, 23, 30, and 31. And then you're going to be doing the week 4 weekly writing warm-up, and then the week 4 discussion comparison-contrast essay, pre-writing. Initial post due by Wednesday, and then post to 2 students by Sunday. Then the week 4 assignment is going to be comparison-contrast essay, thesis and outline, due by Sunday at 11:59 Pacific. Then you have a week 4 quiz, which is also due midnight Pacific. A comparison-contrast essay is a type of academic writing. In this essay type, a writer selects 2 subjects. So you can talk about 2 objects, 2 people, or 2 places, and examine their similarities and differences. These lectures will guide you through the components. They will structure the essentials for crafting a comparison-contrast essay, whether you have been writing for a while or just beginning to write. There are 2 main ways to organize a comparison-contrast essay. Subject by subject. In this organization, you first discuss all the similarities between the 2 subjects, then discuss all the differences between the 2 subjects. Point by point, in this organization, you alternate between discussing the similarities and differences between the 2 subjects. No matter which one of the 2 organizational patterns you choose, your essay should include an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Any compare and contrast essay has an introduction, a body that contains the essay's main points and supporting details that illustrate those points, and a conclusion. The first step in writing a compare and contrast essay is to choose 2 topics that are different enough to be compared. For example, compare apples and oranges, or winter and summer. Once you've chosen your topics, decide what points of comparison you will focus on. This will help you determine what information to include in your essay. You need at least 3 paragraphs in your body, but you can add more if you think they will help your argument. Each body paragraph should focus on one point of comparison, which would apply for the subject-by-subject structure. For example, if you're comparing apples and oranges, you might discuss the taste of each fruit, the nutritional value of each fruit, or the cost of each fruit. Make sure to use transitional words such as in addition, however, on the other hand, throughout your essay so that it flows smoothly from one point to the next. Conclude your essay by restating your thesis and showing how your comparisons support it. Compare refers to both similarities and differences. Contrast only refers to similarities. Organize, compare, and contrast essay point by point. There are two main ways to organize a compare and contrast essay. The first is by comparing the subjects point by point. In this option, for compare and contrast essay writing, you have to take each point at a time. Start with the first point, then move on, and make comparisons for the second. Repeat the process until you've reached the end of your essay. In this structure, it's important to remember that your goal is to emphasize the similarities and differences between the two subjects. Don't let one side or the other dominate your paper. There are different ways you can format this type of essay. One common method is to have one paragraph dedicated to each point you're comparing, with a topic sentence introducing a mini topic. Another approach is to do all your writing about one subject before moving on to the next. In this case, be sure to indicate which subject you're discussing in each paragraph. Either way, keep your readers engaged by using strong transition words and phrases as you move from point to point. Organize and contrast essays side by side. If you choose this approach when writing your essay, you must first decide which aspects of each topic you want to focus on. Once you have done that, you will write a thesis statement explaining how the two items are similar and different. For example, if you are comparing and contrasting apples and oranges, you might say, apples and oranges are both fruits that are often eaten as snacks. However, apples are typically red or green, while oranges are usually orange. Apples tend to be tart, while oranges are sweet. After writing your thesis statement, you will need to write an introduction paragraph that gives background information about your topic. Next, you will need to write a body paragraph for each item you are comparing and contrasting. In each body paragraph, you will need to include precise details that reinforce your thesis statement. You will need to compose a conclusion paragraph outlining your essay's main points. Writing details, thesis statement. In simple words, a thesis statement is a sentence that tells the reader what the paper is about and what position it will support. It should be clear and able to be debated by others. A thesis is debatable when someone could disagree with you logically and reasonably. The thesis statement usually comes at the end of the first paragraph, but can also be found in other parts of the paper. A good thesis statement sets up what you will argue in your paper and ensures that your reader knows your position on the topic. It also helps keep you, as the writer, from getting lost in a confusing argument. Most importantly, a good thesis statement makes a statement. After all, it's called a thesis statement for a reason. A thesis is not a question. It is not a list, nor something that can be proven true or false. A strong thesis makes an argument of a claim you intend to support with evidence. A weak thesis either states an obvious fact or rephrases someone else's opinion. Writing a strong thesis statement. A strong thesis will typically include a clear and concise overview of the main points of your paper in the form of a strong statement. For example, suppose you are writing an essay on grade level reading for children. In that case, you might claim reading abilities in children is a problem that can be prevented with proper intervention and practice. To craft a strong thesis statement, start by brainstorming ideas and narrowing your focus to one specific topic. Once you've decided on a topic, research to gather evidence to support your claims. Then formulate your thesis statement as a clear and concise sentence that outlines your paper's central argument. Before submitting your paper, proofread your thesis statement for any errors. Crafting a good thesis statement. Once you have a topic for your essay and are all set to begin writing, Crafting a powerful thesis statement is the next important step. Think of the thesis statement as the base of your argument. It lets your readers know your stance on the topic and explains why it's important. A strong thesis statement is the key to writing a solid essay. So here are some tips to writing a strong thesis statement. Make it arguable. A good thesis statement should be debatable. It should make an argument that others might reasonably disagree with. Be specific. Your thesis should be as clear as possible. A good thesis is not simply a list of facts or a topic description. It takes a position on an issue. Take a stance. Your thesis should be clear on your topic and narrow enough. Avoid making statements that are too general or too specific, and avoid phrases like "in this essay." Support your claims. Your thesis should be supported by evidence from your paper, facts, examples, statistics, quotations, and must be relatable to the assignment. Specifics of grammar. We will visit 3 grammar topics. A misplaced modifier is a word or phrase that needs to be in the right place in relation to the word it describes. It is incorrectly positioned in relation to the word it describes or modifies. The result is a sentence that lacks coherence, feels clumsy, or conveys unintended meanings. An example might be, running down the street, the dog chased the ball. To fix a misplaced modifier, reposition it so that it's next to the word intended to modify. Sometimes you may need to insert additional words to clarify the sentence meaning. A better sentence would be, the dog chased the ball running down the street. To see more common grammatical errors, read the infographic below. It is written in social media, but these errors happen all the time. Dangling modifiers are words or phrases that change a word, phrase, or clause not clearly stated in the sentence. This often happens when the sentence's subject is changed, or when a pronoun refers to a previously mentioned noun. An example might be, after finishing my presentation, the applause filled the room. In the original sentence, the phrase after finishing my presentation is a dangling modifier because it is not logically or grammatically connected to the subject of the sentence. The applause, adding the subject I to the sentence, clarifies that the speaker finished the presentation, leading to applause filling the room. So a better sentence would be, after I finished my presentation, applause filled the room. Specifics of grammar, run-on sentences. A run-on sentence occurs when 2 or more independent clauses are joined without proper punctuation or conjunction. This results in a sentence that could be clearer to read and understood. 2 main ways to fix a run-on sentence are using proper punctuation or adding a conjunction and a comma. Proper punctuation means separating the independent clauses using a period, semicolon, or comma. It is important to note that the comma is only appropriate when the conjunction is used. Using a comma alone would transform the run-on sentence into a comma splice, another common error to avoid. Adding a conjunction means joining the independent clauses together with a word like and, but, or. You might recall the popular acronym FANBOYS, which stands for nor, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. An example might be, the dress was beautiful, but it was too expensive, so I didn't buy it. This sentence can be corrected by adding commas. The dress was beautiful, comma, but it was too expensive, comma, so I didn't buy it. To avoid run-on sentences, ensure each independent clause is punctuated adequately with a comma, conjunction, or semicolon. If you're unsure whether your sentence is a run-on, try reading it aloud and see if you naturally pause at any point. If so, that's where you should insert your punctuation. So here is fanboys: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And whenever you have fanboys, you always have to put a comma before each of the fanboys. Weekly writing warm-up. So this week, your writing warm-up is going to be, this week you will begin writing your compare and contrast essay. Think for a moment about things that are either or statements in your life. Up or down, black or white, hairy or bald. We could think of plenty of things that use or. Create a free write on your favorite characters, good or versus bad, capable versus incapable, opposite personalities. These can be characters from a current media source or something you enjoyed previously. Consider what makes them different. Is there something that makes them the same? Do you think others see them the way you do? Read what you wrote for the week 3 warm-up assignment. Was it interesting? Does it sound like your voice? Could it have been better? Write your thoughts in 250 words on what you wrote. Compare and contrast. And so in the week 4 discussion, you're going to, this week, you will choose a topic for the pre-write for your final paper. To complete the pre-write, refer to the following strategies discussed in your ebook: free writing, mapping, brainstorming, questioning. Please use your own unique topic, just as you did for the narrative essay, or you may choose from one of the following topics on which to base your pre-write. 2 different: drinks, animals, fruits versus vegetables, childhood versus adulthood, 2 different styles of music, friends versus family, reality TV versus sitcom, emails versus letters, being rich versus being famous, hot water versus cold water. Compare and contrast thesis and outline. The purpose of an outline is to organize or structure your ideas so you effectively communicate them to the reader and support your thesis statement. An outline will help you see how your ideas fit together and may reveal places where you need to add supporting information. As you work through the outline, ensure your body paragraphs tie back to your thesis statement to support it. In this assignment, you will use the topic you chose during your pre-writing and complete the thesis and topic sentence outline for your compare and contrast assignment. The final draft is due in week 6 and will be your final exam. Think about all aspects of the topic. Keep your comparisons and contrasts balanced and relevant. Complete the reading assignment and the interactive lecture before attempting this assignment. Download and complete the week 4 assignment worksheet. Review your pre-write from earlier this week. Pay attention to feedback from your peers and instructor. Complete the thesis and outline form on the assignment details document below. Spell check your essay and save your work using the proper naming conventions. This essay will take about 3 to 4 hours to do. Submit your week 4 assignment Sunday by midnight Pacific. And then of course you have to make sure you fulfill all of the rubric as well to get all the points. Then you're going to take your week 4 quiz. This assessment has been designed to assess your knowledge of essay writing and grammar. Select the Take the Quiz button to complete the 20-question quiz that covers chapters 13, 22, 23, 30, and 31. Please do not attempt the quiz before completing the weekly readings, lectures, and assignments. 2 attempts are provided for the quiz. Questions are randomized in each attempt, and the highest score will be awarded the gradebook. In the gradebook. Week 4 Summary. We focused on the compare and contrast essay, mastering this writing style throughout the week. The learning outcomes underscored the importance of proper grammar, punctuation, and spelling to ensure your writing is clear and professional. We also recognize different essay types, including personal narrative, process analysis, compare and contrast, and persuasive essays, which help you develop diverse writing skills for various purposes. Understanding the writing process was emphasized to guide you through the steps of writing well-structured essays. Remember these objectives as you continue working on your writing skills, and you'll become more proficient and versatile. Excellent job this week, and keep up the fantastic work. And so this ends this video on the Week 4 module. And if you like this video, you can always subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime.